profession has changed more in the past 18 months than in the previous 5 to 10 years, and that the rate of change is unlikely to slow at any stage in the future. The role of the accountant is evolving rapidly. What clients demand today is radically different than it was 10 years ago. Many accountants I talk to feel like they're sprinting to stand still, struggling to keep up to date with all the technological and regulatory changes. And amongst all this, possibly one of the most important and fundamental changes is continuing to build rapidly in the background. That's the changing nature of relationship between accountants and their clients as they move from number cruncher to business advisor, from compiler of financial statements to strategic coach, from box ticker to business growth guide. Now, this certainly isn't something that's going to happen all of a sudden. However, the trend is clear. One way or another, the profession now widely acknowledges the need to get started with advisory services for clients and prospects. And of course, that's in parallel with hyper-efficient, digitally based compliance services. But many questions remain unanswered, and in some cases, not even asked. My name is Micheál O'Neill, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this video series where I answer the 10 big questions about advisory services. These are the questions that I get asked by my clients in Ireland on a regular basis, and also the questions that my colleagues in the UK, US, Canada, and Africa get asked. So let's get started with today's question. Question 3 in our 10 big advisory questions series. So, do clients really want these services? Well, for my own business, and this has got nothing to do with accountancy or anything else, I travel to America. I'm part of a number of groups, and I travel to America probably 4 to 6 times a year. And I join, sometimes we've been in rooms with 1,000, 2,000 other entrepreneurs and business owners. And during these sessions, we're talking about our business, and I share what it is I do. So, at OmniPro, our core belief is that accountants can and do change lives. And we get up every day to bring accountants the tools, advice, and training so they can create outstanding businesses for themselves and for their clients too. And in this way, they change lives and communities. And that's our absolute belief about what accountants can do. And in the most part, entrepreneurs are a little bit shocked when I say that. I say, but don't accountants just, kind of add up all your profits and add up all your costs and calculate how much tax you owe? And I say, well, in a lot of cases, that is what your accountant is doing. But we fundamentally believe that accountants have a much wider remit and a much wider role to play in the development, and that they can actually, through the advice that they deliver and through the support that they deliver, that they can change lives. And when I explain it to other business owners, they go, oh my God, my accountant could do that for me? That would be amazing. And it changes the whole dynamic. It changes how these entrepreneur business owners actually look on their accountants. And in many cases, people have gone back and they've come back to me afterwards. They said they've gone to their accountant and said, accountant, I thought you just did these basic services for me. Can you do this? And the accountant said, yeah, absolutely, I can do it. But the challenge here is that by and large, yes, most accountants will have it on their website, accountants and business advisors, or auditors, business advisors. Or, you're starting to see a trend now where it's business advisors and auditors. But when you look at the rest of their website and the services they provide, it's very hard to identify what it actually is, what other services they provide. And then from the accountant's perspective, well, they don't verbalize all these other things that they can do. So, it is absolutely undeniable that your clients want this. And in fact, what we have seen in the past is that your clients are, they're haggling over the compliance fees, they're continuously pushing back on the fees, but yet they're going off and they're spending 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 on these other advisors who I don't, they might not be best positioned to provide the advice in the same way that you can. So they're off with people that don't have the financial understanding of the business. They don't have the financial acumen that they have, and they're getting paid these sums where there's no, kind of fee pressure, there's no hassle about it. But I have 7 very specific reasons why clients will love your advisory approaches. First of all, they want to be understood. Now, this is undeniable. As humans, we want to be understood. Being in business can be a very lonely place. Most of the rest of, kind of your friends, they might have their own business problems, or they don't have a business. It's hard to talk to. You can't talk to any of your team, well, because you're the business owner. And having somebody to talk to is a very, very important element of it, and have the capacity to talk and be understood. When asked, clients will always respond that they want their accountant to be proactive. Now, proactive is not responding to emails really quickly. Proactive is not getting the tax return done really quickly. Proactive is approaching them with positive solutions and possible opportunities for their business. It's taking the first step. It's going out there, asking them, about their goals, asking them about their aspirations. Clients want somebody to be there with them for the long haul. And by this we mean somebody to stand beside them, to support them, to go that extra yard. And it links in with the first one to understand. Somebody who really gets them, who really gets their business, and is willing to be beside them through thick and thin as things happen, as kind of the business grows, as they meet challenges, as opportunity comes. Because it gets, we only have so much time. And if every time that, something happens in your business, you have to go explain your whole backstory to somebody, well, it's going to take a long time and it's going to create a barrier. They want somebody who is going to be with them in for the long haul. They love being given something. Absolutely. And, when you look at from an advisory perspective, when you take that first approach, when you ask them, kind of where are they going, the benefits to them are undeniable. The benefits of clearly being able to clearly articulate, and it won't come out clearly the first time. So it'll be all jumbled and all mess, but it's the process they go through of taking what's in their head, all their big wild goals, all their frustrations, all their, aspirations, and actually having somebody to tease it out, somebody so that they can focus in to get it into a very, very articulated, a very clearly articulated plan and goal that you can then give them. Well, that is massive for business owners. It's one of the most pressure relieving, stress reducing opportunities there is when they can just get off their shoulders, when they can just get everything they've been thinking and going through over the past years off their shoulders and onto a piece of paper. It's unquestionable they like talking about themselves. I'll always remember, I think it was a Budweiser ad where you had a couple who were on their first date, and you see the lady talking and chatting away, and you just see a gentleman kind of sitting with his hand on his cheek, just staring, and the lady suddenly stops and goes, the guy hasn't said a word this entire time, and the girl suddenly stops and goes, oh my God, this is the most fabulous conversation I've ever had. You're just such an interesting person, and I just feel that we've really connected. Now, the funny part of it, how Budweiser made the ad a bit funny, was when it panned out, you just see over the lady's shoulder, there's a television screen in the background with a match on it. But it's unquestionable that people like talking about themselves, and especially entrepreneurs. They're proud of their businesses, they're proud of their achievements. They want to have some outlet that they can, kind of get that there. And it's amazing through doing advisory sessions with business owners, just their comments at the end of the day, their appreciation for having the time and space to get it all out on paper is massive. I've seen it myself. So I've delivered this on behalf of some of my clients who didn't feel they were ready to step into a full advisory role. I've actually gone out and worked with them, and to see the reactions is priceless. This is one of the big ones. Entrepreneurial clients do not want problems. And when you look at the dynamic that is created, and when the dynamic that, kind of the current relationship a lot of times pulls up, a lot of times as an accountant, you being proactive is actually identifying the problems that the client has in their business, because the level that you're operating on. And when you bring that to them, sometimes they can feel like, oh God, this guy, this girl, this lady is, they're just continuously bringing problems to my attention. That's not what I want. Now, don't get me wrong, they want you to solve problems. That's an absolute. But what they want to do is they want to be able to identify, okay, here are my goals, here's my strategy, here are the problems and the challenges and the blocks that I have getting from where I am now to where I want to go. And they just want those gone. They just want the problems gone. They just want somebody to solve that. And like I said, problem solving does form a fundamental part of business advisory, but it's not where it starts. It starts with a plan, it starts with the strategy. The seventh one, and this is without a doubt one of the most powerful things as, kind of somebody looking to either start with advisory services or somebody looking to progress along their advisory path. Success is a process, not a one-off event. It is absolutely essential, if you're providing advisory, that you don't just go in, get everybody all excited, dump a whole lot of stuff on them and then walk away. You have to be there with them. You have to build advisory packages. You have to build advisory, kind of processes that bring them along. It's little by little. It's little chunk, little step, little step. That is the way that success happens. You're not going to go in and revolutionize a business in one sitting. Yes, you might come up with the ideas. Yes, you might come up with, the approaches that could possibly do it. And by that is, you assist the business owner identify them. However, what they really need is somebody to bring them along the path, to help them to know where they're actually going, to know what their goals are, and then if they're straying off the path, to gently move them back on, to guide them on their way to the successful business. Okay, so that was question 3 in our 10 big advisory questions series. That is, do clients really want these services? Look, no matter where you're looking at this, please go find, if you haven't not yet seen question 1 and question 2, please do go find them. There'll be somewhere in the vicinity a link to them. Go find them, take a look at them. Thank you for listening, and I'll chat to you again soon.